Good evening and welcome to a West Catholic League basketball presentation on BayPreps.com and on RiordanAthletics.org. Tonight we have the Riordan Crusaders from the Crusader Forum playing host to the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish in this great rivalry between these two San Francisco private schools. Sacred Heart Cathedral comes in with a record of 15-7. They are 8-4 in West Catholic League play. Riordan is 14-8. And they are 5-7 in league play, and we hope for as good and as close of a game as the first time these teams played when it was Sacred Heart Cathedral winning by just a point, 55-54. I am Pat O'Rourke, pleased to bring you this broadcast. First, we will take a timeout, of course, for a prayer and the national anthem.
Holy Spirit, God, let me play well but fairly. Let competition make me strong, but never hostile. Forbid me to rejoice in the adversity of others. See me not when I am cheered, but when I bend to help my opponent up. If I know victory, allow me to be happy. If I am denied, keep me from envy. Remind me that sports are just games. Help me to learn something that matters once the game is over. And if through athletics I set an example, let it be a good one. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
All right, we'll be ready to go for the starting lineups very shortly as Riordan plays host to Sacred Heart Cathedral. Again, these are teams that are still looking for position, getting ready for the West Catholic League playoffs, which start next week. Riordan right now in a tie for fifth place. And Sacred Heart Cathedral is alone in third. And Sacred Heart Cathedral, if they can come up with a win tonight, could pretty much assure themselves of a third place regular season finish in the West Catholic League. The Irish, the road team tonight, they have played their final regular season home game of the year. They'll also be on the road on Saturday night when they play at Mitty. As for Riordan, they finish up at home against St. Francis on Saturday night. Sacred Heart Cathedral is coached by Daryl Barber. Barber is in his sixth season at the helm of the Irish. Four-time CCS Division III champions with him at the helm. He's won 129 games and lost 52 in his career. He goes with the following lineup. DeAndre Otis is a junior. Khalil James, a senior, form a really good backcourt. They're a little bit undersized up front. They've got Herman Pratt, who has been an all-league player the last couple of seasons. He's a senior. David Parsons is a sophomore, and Evan Davison is a junior. Otis, James, Pratt, Davison, and Parsons, the lineup for the Irish. As for the Riordan Crusaders, they are coached by Rich Buckner. Buckner led this team to a 21-win season and a CCS title 5 years ago. And expectations were high coming this year. A lot of new transfers for Riordan. They've suffered some real close losses. Don't be fooled by that 5-7 league mark and 14-8 overall. The lineup for the Crusaders: Drew Mabry is a 5'9 senior. Bobby Arenas, a workhorse, a 6'1 junior. Frankie Ferrari is a transfer from Burlingame. He's a 5'11 junior. He is a shooter. Christian Hernandez is a 6'1 senior. And Zach Mazzoli is a 6-foot junior. Jade Ubaja is a 5'11 junior. I mentioned Mabry, but he's not in the lineup. It's Arenas, Jade Ubaja, Ferrari, Mazzoli, and Hernandez for the Crusaders. Final week of regular season play in the West Catholic League. Great rivalry, great atmosphere. Riordan band, as usual, did a great job. They are almost filled on the other half of the Crusader Forum. On this half, I'd say at least 85%. And we're looking forward to working, as we have a couple of times this season, with the great folks at RiordanAthletics.org. They stream all the Riordan games on their website. We're looking forward to this broadcast with them. The opening tip will be between Herman Pratt and Zach Mazzoli. A little bit of a delay before we get this opening tip. Call Michael Mulry, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert, at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mulry, who's a WCAL alum at CNA Equity, be your bridge, your most profitable equity partners. It's Michael Mulry at CNA Equity. And again, a further delay before we get this one started. City rivalries are always good, and you know, there's people asking on Twitter about how full this place is. I mean, it's not completely full, but I mean, I would guess it's about 85%. Of course, that includes the Riordan band, which takes up a section of their own. Sacred Heart Cathedral wearing the road green jerseys. The white numbering and lettering, the gold outlining. Riordan in their home whites, the purple numbering and lettering, the gold outlining. They're clearing up, I believe, some wet spots on the floor before we get started here. Still, it's a much better atmosphere, and you'll find, just even though people, maybe it's not as packed as you would see in years past. It's a better atmosphere than just about anywhere else you'll find in the Bay Area. And a great gym here at Crusader Forum. You know, everyone just anxious to get this one started. It's like at least a 5-minute delay before the opening tip here as they clean up some wet spots. on the floor. We're still waiting to get this one started. Again, Riordan 5-7 in league. They, with a couple wins this week, and this is the toughest game they have this week as they play St. Francis, who they've already beat. But a couple wins this week, they could finish as high as 4th. Right now, they're in a tie for 5th. And of course, you finish 4th in league, you get yourself a home game in the first round of the league playoffs. So Mazzoli and Pratt will finally tip it up after our lengthy delay. And it is won by Bobby Arenas. Hey, at least the lights didn't go out, right? That wasn't the reason for our delay. Just a few wet spots. And here's Arenas trying a 3 to start, and Bobby Arenas drains it. So a good start for the Crusaders. We've played 15 seconds. This is Khalil James. James, the high scorer in the first meeting. He had 18 points. He also had the key assist to set up the winning bucket in that 55-54 win. This is David Parsons kicking it out for a jumper by Davison that misses. A battle for the rebound, and hitting the deck is Parsons on the missed shot by Davison. And it'll go as a foul against Riordan. It comes 33 seconds into the game. So Mazzoli picks up the personal. Stepping his way inside the lane and missing the short right-hander as Parsons, and the rebound to the Crusaders. 3-0 on the long Bobby Arenas 3. Mazzoli up top. Around the perimeter, this is Ferrari. Here's Ferrari trying a 3 from the deep wing, and he's got it. So back-to-back threes for Arenas and Ferrari. 6-0 Riordan. The Crusader students on their feet, mid-court on the other side of us, chanting defense. Davison outside Pratt. He'll try a 3 to answer, and he's got it. So good shooting at the start. We've seen 3 3-pointers. Arenas, Ferrari for Riordan, and Pratt for Sacred Heart. Losing his hand on the dribble is Judea Baja. And then he commits a foul in the backcourt on the steal by Davison. Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com and on RiordanAthletics.org. 6:20 to go in the opening quarter. This is DeAndre Otis. He had a big first half against Riordan in the first meeting. Parsons. Davison on the baseline. Davison feeds Otis. Otis loses it. So the Irish have their first turnover. Here's Judea Baja the other way. Up and under, unable to score. Pratt the rebound, and Pratt immediately pushes. Pulls up for another 3. Rims out. Rebound Hernandez. Pratt, very good defensive player. That's why he's recognized in all league, and he just forced a turnover on Arenas travel. Parsons out to James. James stumbles, throws it away. Ferrari on the steal. Ferrari the other way, can't score against Otis, but he draws the foul. Ferrari, a 5'11 junior. A lot of the transfers for Riordan, like Ferrari, didn't really play until league play began as Ferrari makes that first free throw. But he's made some big shots, including game winner against Bellarmine the other night. So he makes both free throws. He already has 5 points for Riordan. Ferrari can be very streaky. 5:10 to go in the opening quarter. Zone defense for Riordan. In the corner, this is a three by Parsons. That is good. Another three-pointer. Each side's got a couple. Ferrari pushes the other way. Nice feed underneath Mazzoli. Mazzoli stumbles. He gets rid of it, and it's a great pass to Hernandez for the Deuce. Mazzoli is a good passer. Why not? He's the quarterback of this football team. We saw him have 9 assists in a game against Moreau Catholic in December. Missed shot up top by Otis, and the rebound to Arenas and the Crusaders. We're at Crusader Forum in San Francisco. Knocked away in the pass. Goes out of bounds and will stay with Riordan with 19 on the shot clock, 4:21 on the game clock. Fast offensive start to this one. Remember that first meeting was just a 55-54 game. Here's Ferrari firing again. Told you he can be streaky, and it's a good streak to start this game. He already has 8 points, a couple threes, and Riordan's got their biggest lead. Inside the lane, Otis kicks out for a three. In the corner, and again, that is David Parsons. Past the midway point of the opening quarter. Both teams hot. Here's Ferrari, why not? Straight away, missed it. And the rebound to Khalil James. James along the baseline pushes and draws the foul. Very good action to start this ball game on both ends, both teams being aggressive. After a short stint, A.J. Padronis goes in and goes out, and Jadeo Baja checks in. Another free throw for James. So he makes them both. 5 unanswered for the Irish. They're within 2. Here's Arenas firing for another 3. And the rebound to James. It's one thing when you get off to a hot start from three-point land, I'm talking about the teams in general, is you can't fall too in love with that three-point shot. Khalil James, tough shot over everyone, misses, and the rebound Hernandez, and then Hernandez is fouled. Already a couple points and a couple rebounds for 6'1" senior Christian Hernandez. First foul on Khalil James, second team foul on the Irish. We're going to see Graham Gilren, the 6'7" senior, check in for Mazzoli. Also for Riordan, Eric Vrana, 6'4" junior. Vrana, a guy who played on the under-16 Hungarian national team. Here's Ferrari, already 8 points for Riordan, giving way to Arenas. Each side's made 3 threes to start this game, and now we have a travel violation on Riordan. Third turnover for the Crusaders. The Irish have 2. Here's Pratt. Bad pass, not ready for it was Davison. Ahead the floor, Jadeo Baja can't make. The tip also no good, and Pratt pulls in the rebound. And draws the foul, the 4th team foul against Riordan. Goes against Graham Gilren. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. After a quick hot shooting start, both teams have stalled a bit offensively in the last minute or two. Nearly a bump there on Ferrari. This is DeAndre Otis, the junior, going right to the bucket. Scoop, layup, and the foul. What a play by Otis. He ties this game up, and a free throw can give Sacred Heart Cathedral a lead. Foul goes against Ferrari, his first. Otis scored 11 points in the first game. All of those points were in the first half of that Irish win. His three-point play has just given Sacred Heart Cathedral their first lead with 2:16 to go in the opening quarter. This is a 7-0, make it an 8-0 run for the Irish. Ferrari gets his pocket picked by Otis. Otis tries to go in again, and Ferrari strips it right back, but Otis tracks the loose ball. Otis feels he can beat Ferrari after dribble, instead gives way. Up top to Davison. Now it's Khalil James. Here's James hanging in the air. Missing. Somehow he grabbed the rebound, and then he got fouled underneath. That's already 16 fouls on Riordan, and draws some boos from the faithful. So first personal on Arenas. So James already 2 for 2 from the line. Liam O'Reilly checks into the game for the Irish. Chiefy Obaja is into the game for Riordan, along with Shaquille Cooper. Drew Mabry in there. They're joining Arenas and Gilren on the floor. James is a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. And this run for Sacred Heart Cathedral is now 10-0. 1:35 to go in the opening quarter. Cooper passes to Chiefy Obaja. O'Reilly trying to draw the charge, can't do so. Tip rebound goes to Obaja. Here's a 3 by Cooper, and that is good. Cooper just checked in, and he drains Riordan's 4th three-pointer. And we're tied up again. 1:13 to go in the first. Herman Pratt wants a 3. He's got it. Second 3 of the game for Pratt. Each side has made 4 threes. Inside a minute to go, the first quarter. Kicked outside. This is a 3 by Cooper again. Shaquille Cooper has tied the game up at 19. Cooper already surpassing his season scoring average. .32 seconds to go in the quarter, 11-second differential to shot clock. Parsons kicks it out for an open 3 that misses by Otis. The rebound to Chiefy Obaja. Riordan wants the last shot. The shot clock is off. 18 seconds to go. The Let's Go Riordan chance with 6 seconds. Here's Mabry. Mabry stripped, loose ball. O'Reilly's got it at midcourt with 1 second. Got to throw it up here, but he's stripped by Arenas. And that's the end of the first quarter. We're all tied up at 19, a high-scoring opening quarter, and that's thanks to the three-point shooting. Each side has made at least 4. The Irish have 4. Riordan's got 5. Each side has 6 rebounds. Riordan has 5 turnovers compared to 4 for the Irish. Franklin Canyon Stables, very affordable, family-oriented. The place to go if you're looking for riding lessons, trail access, horse training, or boarding. That's Franklin Canyon Stables. For more information, go to kimshorsetraining.com. Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria, the place to go after the game. Open late, full bar, longtime supporter of high school sports on the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio and Walnut Creek. That's Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria. If you're ever in the East Bay, you won't be disappointed when you go to Rocco's. 19 19 after one quarter. Got Parsons, Otis, James, Pratt, and O'Reilly on the floor for the Irish. This is O'Reilly up top. Cooper, Chifiobaja, Gilren, Mabry, and Arenas on the floor for Riordan. Just 12 on the shot clock. Dangerous pass, grabbed by Pratt. Down low O'Reilly, kick out up top. Otis wants a three. And the rebound goes to Gilren. This is Drew Mabry, 5'9" senior. Working against Otis. Gilren open on the baseline for a long two, and he's got it. Both teams making their outside shots. Riordan's back in front. 7 minutes to go in the half. Here's a three that misses from Parsons, but the rebound to Otis. And then a foul on Riordan, and now the Irish are going to be in the bonus. '17th foul means 1-and-1 free throws for Otis. The Irish are already a perfect 5 for 5 from the line in this game. And Otis misses the front end of the 1-and-1. But the Irish come up with a steal. Riordan's 6th turnover. Davison finds Nagasi Hart, misses the jumper. Chifiobaja already has 4 boards. Here's Ferrari. The let's go Riordan chance. Gilren with 12 on the shot clock to Cooper in the corner. Cooper's already made 2 threes. The rebound to Abaja. Abaja against O'Reilly, and what a great defensive play there by O'Reilly. But then he gets fouled by Chifu Abaja, just slammed the ball, and he's going to get a technical. That's an easy call for the official. When you slam the basketball like that, you're begging for a technical. .6:01 to go in the first half. The officials conferring on that technical. Chifu Abaja is the cousin of Jade Abaja, who was the leading rebounder and scorer at Oceana Pacifica last year. So here's O'Reilly. So he just missed the 1-and-1. And the Irish will have someone else shoot the technicals. It means the team fouls are 9 for Riordan and 2 for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Evan Davison makes the first technical. So Davison makes the technicals, and the Irish get to keep the possession here with 6:01 to go in the first half. That ties this game up. Chief Ubaja just gets 2 fouls basically in that play. And judging by his I'm not sure if he's going to be playing the rest of this first half. Short jumper inside the lane is good for Elliot Santiago's first points. So it ends up being a 4-point possession for the Irish. Here's Shaquille Cooper. They had Ferrari open in the corner, but never found him for a 3. So here's Mabry out to Ferrari. Ferrari back to Mabry. Ferrari catches the high pass in the corner, pump fakes, passes down low, Gilliran, turnaround jump hook is good. Second bucket this quarter for Gilliran, and we're tied again, 5:18 to go in the half. This is a good matchup, 2 evenly matched teams. As Liam O'Reilly misses the shot inside the lane, and the rebound, Mazzoli tips to Mabry. Up the floor, Ferrari is grabbed, and they'll say a foul is on the floor. Just going to be just the 3rd team foul on Sacred Heart Cathedral. It goes against Santiago. Christian Hernandez is going to check back in for Riordan as Gilliran checks out. Otis is out of the game for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Agassi Hart, Liam O'Reilly, Elliot Santiago, Evan Davison, Khalil James out there. Santiago just got called for a grab before the ball was inbounded. So that's his second. Here's Ferrari stepping back for a 3. Battle for the rebound. It's a tie-up between Hernandez and O'Reilly. The possession arrow will keep it with Riordan. There's a 3-game difference in the West Catholic League standings, but these are 2 evenly matched teams. It's judged by that first meeting. Sacred Heart Cathedral has been able to win the close games, and Riordan hasn't. That's something that Jeremy Bowen alluded to in his game story article on sanfranpreps.com. Here's Mazzoli. Outside to Cooper for a 3. Shaquille Cooper's got 3 3-pointers, and Riordan is in the lead. The Crusaders have made 6 as a team. And a steal by Mazzoli. Mazzoli loses it in the front court, gets it back. Inside the lane, finds Hernandez, works by O'Reilly, misses. His tip also misses, but he keeps it alive for Mazzoli. Mazzoli jumper, no. And on the rebound, they'll say stay right here. We got a foul on the Irish, who had a lot of trouble back boxing out. The Crusaders. Foul against Evan Davison. His first 15th foul. And a timeout by the Riordan bench with 3:58 to go in the first half. Good action between the Crusaders and the Irish. Riordan is up by 3. Few people still filing in. Like I said, it starts about 85% full for this game at Crusader Forum. Another foul on the Irish. The officials trying to even up the foul count here. Seen a couple cheapies called against Sacred Heart Cathedral. It's their 16th foul. Riordan still at 9. Foul goes against O'Reilly, his first. Ferrari finds an open Hernandez from the elbow. Rebound to James. Khalil James already has 4 boards. Pratt wants a 3. Missed off the back iron. Both teams shot the ball well from the outside. Here's Mabry to Ferrari. Mazzoli wants a 3 from straight ahead. He's got it. The first points of the game for Mazzoli. The Crusaders have now made 7 threes. That's accounting for 21 of their 29 points. Here's Pratt, stripped. Goes out of bounds. Will stay with the Irish. Just one made field goal in this second quarter for Sacred Heart Cathedral as O'Reilly and Hart go out. Parsons. Davison back in. The inbounds goes to Davison for a wide open 3. He can't make it from the corner. Riordan's biggest lead is 7. They're trying to surpass that now, and Ferrari can't make the 3. But the rebound to Davison, he throws it away as he was falling out of bounds. 2:44 to go in the half. Just one made field goal in this quarter for the Irish. Here's Cooper for a 3. He's made 3 of them, but he airballed that one way too long. Otis loses it. A battle of Arenas on the floor. And they'll call a tie-up, and the possessioner will keep it with Sacred Heart. Jade Abaja back into the game. Still haven't seen Chiefy since he picked up that technical. As I speculated that he was going to sit down at least the remainder of this half. With 5 on the shot clock, driving and scoring is David Parsons, who has 8 points. He's the leading scorer for the Irish. Arenas pass deflected into the arms of Hernandez. Hernandez bogged down, trap underneath, somehow got rid of it. 16 on the shot clock for Mabry. Jade Abaja. Jade has not scored yet for the Crusaders. Falling down is Pratt. Dangerous pass caught by Hernandez. With 4 on the shot clock, he is stripped. This is Khalil James. Look at Khalil James go to the rim and miss. The defense by Hernandez, the rebound to Arenas. 1:05 to go in the half. Here's Mabry, the quick dribble drive and the score. His first points. Crusader lead back up to a half dozen. And the drive and score again by Parsons. He's the game's leading scorer with 10. The other way, an answer by Jade Abaja. A breakdown by Sacred Heart defensively, letting that transition basket happen after their own made bucket. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. 25 seconds to go. The 3 by James. The rebound to Cooper. Cooper's given great minutes off the bench for Riordan in this first half, and the Crusaders are going to have, it looks like, at least a 6-point lead heading into halftime. Mabry to Cooper. Cooper with 1 second, misses badly, but at the end of the first half of play, it's the Archbishop Riordan Crusaders holding a 6-point advantage, 33-27. You're watching high school basketball action. This is BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. 33-27 our score at the halftime break. This is a game in which Riordan jumped out to an early 7-point lead. They led 13-6, but then Sacred Heart Cathedral went on a 10-0 run. The Irish led by as many as 3 at one point. This game was tied at 19 after one quarter. Riordan outplaying the Irish in the second quarter, outscoring Sacred Heart Cathedral 14-8 in that second quarter. Riordan doing it on the strength of three-pointers. 21 of their 33 points have come from three-pointers. Leading the way for the Crusaders is Shaquille Cooper. He's hit 3 of those threes. Off the bench, he's got 9 points. Frankie Ferrari scored all 8 of his points in the first quarter. 4 for Grant Gilran, 3 for Bobby Arenas, and 3 for Zach Mazzoli. 2 points apiece for Christian Hernandez, Jadeo Baja, and Drew Mabry. 8 different players have scored for the Crusaders. 6 different players are in the scorebook for the Irish, including David Parsons, who has a game-high 10 points. He hit a couple of threes in the opening quarter. The Irish don't have as many threes as Riordan, but they've hit 4 threes in the first half. 6 points for Herman Pratt, who hit a couple of them in the opening quarter. Khalil James has 4. 3 points for DeAndre Otis. Evan Davison and Elliot Santiago each have 2. The Riordan does have 7 turnovers. Sacred Heart Cathedral's got 6. Riordan's out-rebounded the Irish 18-11. Sacred Heart Cathedral is 7 of 9 from the free throw line. The Crusaders are 2 of 2. Right now they have the Pee Wee game going on. Both teams now are out of the locker room, ready to hit the court for a minute or 2 of warm-ups. And it looks like we won't start the second half for another 3 minutes or so. We get ready to start the third quarter from the Crusader Forum. Riordan's going with the lineup of Ferrari, Arenas, Hernandez, Mazzoli, and Jade Abaja, the same starting five. Crusaders hitting 7 threes in that first half, counting for 21 of their 33 points. Shaquille Cooper hit 3 big threes coming off the bench. Normally not a huge big-time scorer, but a big lift for the home team in that first half. Riordan also doing the job on the glass. 18-11, they out-rebounded the Irish. A few of those on the offensive end. The Irish going with Davison, Parsons, James, Otis, and Pratt. Their same 5 starters. Of course, the Irish in green. Riordan in their home whites. It'll be Riordan basketball to start the third quarter. Jade Abaja. Dangerous pass. Mazzoli corrals it. Does keep the possession alive. Down low, Hernandez. Back up to Arenas. Arenas attacks, misses. Rebound, James. Khalil James already with 5 rebounds tonight. He's the leading rebounder for Sacred Heart Cathedral this evening. Good action in that first half. Let's see if it can continue here in the second half. These teams played a 1-point game the first time they met at Sacred Heart Cathedral. A 55-54 Irish win. 11 on the shot clock for Pratt. James. Pump fake, shoots it over Abaja. I think Abaja still might have got a piece of that. Arenas has the loose ball. Riordan has led by as many as 7. Abaja working against James. 15 on the shot clock. This is Arenas. Bounce pass down to Mazzoli. Mazzoli against Davison. Hernandez. Abaja wants a 3 with 7 on the shot clock, and he's got it. His first 3 of the game. 5 different Crusader players have made threes, and Jade Abaja has just given his team their biggest lead of the night. And a foul on Abaja as he was checking James. Second one on the 5'11 junior, Jade Abaja. This is Pratt. Pratt sees an opening, scores, and gets the foul. Mazzoli wanted to draw a charge there, but Pratt has an N1 opportunity. First points for Pratt since the opening quarter. He was limited by an eye injury the first time these teams played. So his end 1 gets it back to a 6-point game. That was the spread at the half. 6:10 to go in the third. Ferrari fires. He hasn't scored since the first quarter. Hernandez the rebound and the putback. 5 rebounds tonight for Christian Hernandez. He's got 4 points to go with it. See if the Irish guards do here in the second half. They were quiet in that first half. There's a missed 3 by Parsons. The twosome of Otis and James have combined for just 7 Sacred Heart Cathedral points. Jade Abaja wants another 3. Look at Hernandez, the work on the glass, and his left-hander scores. The Crusaders, again, working with their big lead of the night. It's at 10. 5:17 to go in the third. And a foul on Mazzoli. So that's already his third and the third team foul as well. He'll come out of the game as Graham Gilren checks in. Bad pass knocked by Gilren into the backcourt. DeAndre Otis. Him and James combined for 29 in the first game. Pratt turns around and scores off the window, and he is now the game's leading scorer for 11. And he gets his lead back down to single figures. Gilren inside the lane. Hernandez, this time his jump hook was blocked by Parsons. It goes out of bounds and will stay with Riordan. Whistle on the foul. But no one paying attention on the inbounds. It is tracked down by Jade Abaja. And inside, Hernandez nearly had another bucket. So Christian Hernandez is going to go to the foul line. Hernandez has scored 4 of the 7 Riordan points this third quarter. Crusaders, 2 of 2 as a team from the line in the first half. And I'm not sure what's going to happen here if Hernandez has some blood. They're going to have to clean up before this second free throw. Looks like he's going to come out of the game. Must be a big cut. So Usman Hamid's going to check in for the first time. And he's going to shoot the second free throw. So he makes it a 10-point game. Not easy to do, even though it's just a free throw, but to come in when you haven't played all game and sink one like that. And his bench appreciated it, everyone giving him a pat on the back as he checks back out. You got Mabry, Gilren, Ferrari, Arenas, and Jade Abaja on the floor. Still haven't seen Chiefy Abaja since he picked up that technical. Mabry nearly came up with a steal, grabbed back by James. James crossed over, but then threw it away. Arenas up the floor to Mabry. Mabry, nice scoop pass. Ferrari. Ferrari's got the layup. Good job by Mabry running the break, and Riordan's got their big lead of the night. The Crusaders, who led by 6 at the half, have doubled that lead with 3:54 to go in the third quarter. They're up by 12, 44-32. Call Michael Mulry. He's your home loan purchase and loan finance expert at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mulry at CNA Equity be your bridge, your most profitable equity partners. So Sacred Heart basketball, let's see how they respond out of the timeout. We're expecting the game to go down to the wire. You know, still got a lot of time left in this one for the Irish to come back, but they're down 12. It was nip and tuck most of the first half. There's a great feed down to O'Reilly for the layup. Good pass there by Parsons. O'Reilly has his first points. Much needed bucket for the road team. Ferrari's got 10. Arenas hasn't scored since making the opening points of the game. It was a 3 when he did that, and he just drained another one. Riordan has not stopped making threes. They've got 9 in this game. Pratt wants to answer. The Irish have gone cold from three-point land. They hit 4 relatively early on. In fact, they hit 4 in the opening quarter, but have not made one since. And on the rebound, it's a foul. Some confusion at the scorers table. It's going to be a foul on O'Reilly. 2:58 to go in the third. Riordan. Told you at the start, much better than that 5 and 7 league record, but they didn't look at in that possession. A steal on a turnover by Mabry, a steal by Otis, who just drew the foul going to the rim. Again, those Irish guards, Otis and James, if those guys aren't going, the offense really struggles. And the Sacred Heart Cathedral offense has certainly hit some ruts. The second part of the league's schedule, they had that disastrous opening quarter at Bellarmine where they scored just 2 points. As Otis makes the first free throw. They've had some games where they've just really struggled offensively. Scored just 43 in that game against Bellarmine. Scored 44 in a loss to Sarah. After the 2 free throws by Otis, they've got 36, but are down 11. 2:35 to go in the third. Cross-court pass, Gilren finds Ferrari. Ferrari tried to get it back to him, but a steal by Otis. And Otis gave it right back, but Ferrari was out of bounds. If you're the Irish, I'm sure you're hoping maybe to get this thing back down to 7 before you head to the fourth quarter. Shaquille Cooper, who scored 9 off the bench in the first half, comes into the game for Ferrari. It's the first time we've seen Cooper in this third quarter. He's a transfer from El Cerrito, one of the many transfers on this Riordan team. Although he's the only one on the floor right now, as O'Reilly tries to score off the glass, can't do so. Nice battle for his own rebound, and he scores. Well, he's stuck with it there, and the lead's back down to single figures. Knocked away. Loose ball. They'll say it will stay with Riordan. Sacred Heart fans thinking that one touched the Crusaders last. Timeout on the floor. Sacred Heart Cathedral's not going to go away quietly. And like I said, still a lot of time left. Still got the rest of this third quarter and the entire fourth quarter to play. It's an Irish team that was down 13. Parsons, Otis, James, Pratt, and O'Reilly. For Sacred Heart Cathedral, for Riordan, Hernandez, Mabry, Gilren, Arenas, and Cooper. 2:09 to go in the third. Here's Arenas. Tries to score off the glass, and it just rimmed out. He will get a couple of free throws. Arenas, 6 points and 4 rebounds tonight.
That's his third. Bobby Arenas on the line, 2 shots.
Zach Mazzoli back into the game for Hernandez. Arenas, another free throw to get it up to double figures. Missed them both. An opening for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Here's Pratt. O'Reilly on the baseline, open jumper. Rebound to Mabry. There's a big battle going on inside. And this is going to go against Riordan, and I believe Mazzoli might have just picked up his 4th. Yep, that's going to be the 4th foul on the 6-foot junior, Zach Mazzoli. So here's Chiefy Abaja, who's back into the game. This is his first action since he picked up that technical foul early in the second quarter. Jade Abaja also checking in, along with Eric Vrana. They join Cooper and Mabry on the floor. Here's O'Reilly, backing his way in against Vrana. Can't score, and on the rebound, we're going to get the Irish on the foul. That looks like it was Pratt. His first. Each team's got 5 team fouls. 1:28 to go in the third. Mentioned before, the Irish like to maybe get it down to 7 before the 4th quarter. Looking for a stop here, and they get it. Parsons on the steal. Parsons got it stripped himself, and the ball was touching him as it rolled off his foot, and he was standing on it out of bounds. So he gives it right back. 1:06 to go in the third. Cooper turns it over as he was falling out of bounds. Khalil James. And the missed layup by Otis. O'Reilly the rebound. Stays alive for James. And he scores. And that lead is down to 7 with 38 seconds to go in the third. Some of the Irish fans chanting defense. Wide open 3 in the corner for Cooper. Air ball. Chiefy Abaja stripped. Nicely done by James. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock is off. Here's O'Reilly catching down low. Good pump fake, but then he is stripped. Loose ball grab by Pratt, but they're going to say they fouled Vrana. Ferrari and Hernandez are back in for Cooper and Vrana. 13 seconds in the third. The foul was on O'Reilly, his third. So he goes out of the game. And Nagasi Hart, who's been on the bench this entire third quarter, checks in. Riordan real patient right now. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. This is Mabry to Jade Abaja. Wide open the corner. Ferrari for a 3. And there's the buzzer. A big miss there by Ferrari. That could have made it a 10-point game going to the fourth. Instead, it's 47-40 Riordan. They led by as many as 13 in that third quarter. We head to the fourth from the city. We're at Crusader Forum. This is BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. And the home team, the Crusaders, are up 47-40. Sacred Heart basketball down 7. Can't say the momentum has swung their way, but they're a couple plays away from doing so. Nagasi Hart threw it out of bounds, but they're going to say it was deflected by Riordan. Saying Chifi Abaja got a piece of it. Ferrari, incredulous, thinking they had called it off of him. Inbounds to Pratt. Tough angle, he works his way around, can't score, and Christian Hernandez, who's been active on the glass, tips the rebound to himself. Here's Ferrari. Up top. Down to Chifi Abaja. Abaja backing his way in against Pratt, who tried to pull the chair out, and it worked into a traveling call for Abaja. Pratt, like I said, pulled the chair out, just backed away, forcing Chifi Abaja to stumble. That's Riordan's 13th turnover. The Irish have 9. Big difference in this game, though, the three-pointers. Riordan has made 9 of them. Sacred Heart has made 4, and the Irish haven't made one since the first quarter. 7:15 to go. Otis and James still have been very quiet, the Irish backcourt. A couple guys, returnees from last year's NorCal championship team. It's going to be a foul on Christian Hernandez. That's his first. Each side now has 16 fouls. So from this point forward, we'll be seeing free throws. We've got another wet spot on the floor. This game was delayed at least 5 minutes at the start because they were cleaning up wet spots. Official gives the towel back to Daryl Barber, head coach of the Irish. Inbounds pass deflected away and out of bounds by Hernandez. This game has slowed down a little bit. It's been a good game to watch. And now we got a whistle off the ball. Things getting chippy. We're going to see the Irish get free throws out of this foul. That's Ferrari. A grab off the ball, his second. So DeAndre Otis, who is 3 of 4 from the line, will shoot 1 and 1. Irish very quietly working their way back in this game. They haven't been within 5 since the second quarter. And they still haven't. A rebound deflected out of bounds off the Irish. So 47-41, less than 7 minutes to go. .22 on the shot clock. This is Mabry to Jade Abaja. 15 on the shot clock. Wide open Ferrari in the cross-court pass for Mabry. Ferrari's got his third 3 of the game. He has 13 points. That is a game high. Big 3 there to push the lead back up to 9. And a blocking foul on Jade Abaja. That's going to be his third. And the Irish going to shoot 1 and 1 again. It's going to be Nagasi Hart, who has not scored in this game. Hart, a sophomore, just like Parsons, who also plays a lot of varsity time, and a nice bounce for Hart on that first free throw. second one. Got a kind bounce again, this time from the front of the rim. 7-point game. It was a 7-point game to start this fourth quarter. We've played nearly 2 minutes of the fourth. Jadea Baja turns it over. Pratt on the steal. Riordan's not taking care of the ball in this second half. Pass around the perimeter. This is Hart. Khalil James, just 6 points tonight. Nice pass, Otis. Otis, great feed, and the layup rolls in for Parsons, who's got a dozen points. The Irish within 5 for the first time since the first half. 5:35 to go. Mabry gets fouled. He'll be shooting 1-1. Second foul on Khalil James. Not to keep harping on it, but just wondering how much James and Otis have left offensively for the remainder of this game, because they have combined for 12 points. Each has 6 as Mabry makes the front end of the 1-1. Those two players combined for 29 points when the Irish beat Riordan 55-54 at Sacred Heart. Mabry misses the second free throw. The rebound deflected out of bounds off of Riordan. So the Irish a chance to get within 4. Or 3 if they make a 3, but they haven't made a 3 since the first quarter. Not really a big-time shooting, 3-point shooting team, as the miss by Otis. And the rebound underneath to Arenas. Arenas has 6 points and 5 boards. Riordan nearly turned it over again. It's grabbed back by Mabry. And a timeout by Riordan. And Coach Rich Buckner, as once his team got that ball back, he wanted to preserve the possession. His team has turned it over 7 times in this second half. .25 on the shot clock for Mabry and Riordan. 5 minutes to go. Pat O'Rourke with you at Crusader Forum on BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. Mabry loses it. Pratt comes away with the steal. Ahead to Otis. Long 2-point jumper. Misses by Hart. Hernandez pulls in another board. Hernandez has 7 points and 8 rebounds tonight for Riordan. 4:25 left. Riordan nearly turned it over again. They've got to take care of the ball. Here's Arenas. And on the rebound, we're going to get a foul on Pratt. That's going to be his second, but it's going to lead to free throws again. It'll be Hernandez going to the line. He is 1 of 1 from the line. Remember, he made a free throw, then had to leave the game because he had a cut near his eye. Had to get that attended to. So Usman Hamid came in and made the second of his 2 foul shots. And Hernandez just banked in the front end of a 1-and-1. So he'll try to push this lead up to 8. Missed it off the back iron, the long rebound. Tracked by Otis. Otis wants to push. Dumps it off to Pratt. They're going to call a charge on Otis, who can't believe the call. And neither can the Irish bench. It's going to be the third foul on Otis. And it looked like the Irish were going to get a layup out of that if there was no charge foul called. So 4:05 to go, still a 7-point Riordan lead. This is the lead they took into this fourth quarter. Led by 6 at the half. And now they're going to get O'Reilly on a bump, and that's going to be the fourth foul on O'Reilly.
Sacred Heart foul number 45, Liam O'Reilly. That's his fourth. On the line for the Crusaders, Judeo-Baja.
And Judeo-Baja and the Crusaders are now in the double bonus, so an automatic 2 free throws for Obaja, who's got 5 points. Obaja misses the first free throw. Obaja follows us on Twitter at Bay Area Preps. Second free throw. So it's an 8-point game. The Irish have gone stale offensively. Just one made field goal in this fourth quarter. Khalil James bumped on his way to the hoop, still finds a way to score. They're going to need a lot more Khalil James in the final 3:45 as they call a timeout and cut this lead back down to 6. In the first game, James told you had 18 points, but he also had a key assist, a dump off to Liam O'Reilly for the winning basket. That's how close these teams played the first meeting. It was a 55-54 Sacred Heart Cathedral win. And now Riordan looking for some revenge. The Crusaders have won 4 of their last 6 entering this game. Like I said, they win tonight and they win Saturday night. They have a chance to finish 4th place, and you finish in the top 4. Sacred Heart Cathedral pretty much guaranteed to finish in the top 4 in league, but you finish in that top 4, you get a home playoff game in the first round of the WCAL playoffs. And home court advantage obviously is very big in this league. Knocked away by Pratt. Tries to save it out of bounds, but can't do so. 22 on the shot clock, 3:32 on the game clock. Riordan up 6. This is Ferrari. Going to pull up for a 3. The long rebound grabbed by Parsons. So another opportunity for the Irish to get this thing down to 4. Down to Pratt. Pratt against Hernandez. And Pratt scores, working his way around him. Herman Pratt has 13 points. 4-point game, 3:03 to go. Judeo-Baja passes underneath, great feed, Mazzoli to finish. Second bucket of the night for Mazzoli. Lead back up to 6. Here's Pratt spinning his way around and getting fouled. That's the 9th team foul on Riordan, but Pratt was in the shooting motion. Second foul on Arenas. So Pratt goes to the line. He is 1 of 1 from the free throw line. His team has shot their free throws well tonight, but Pratt misses it. Before that miss, the Irish were 13 of 16. .246 left. Every free throw miss for either side is critical at this point, and he missed them both. Chief-Obaja's got the rebound. Chief-Obaja, He had Ferrari open for three. Ferrari was calling for it, but the Crusaders want to run some clock off. Mazzoli, nice bounce pass. Chief Yobaja can't score, but Liam O'Reilly has just fouled out. O'Reilly has fouled out with 4 points.
Irish foul number 45, Daniel O'Reilly. That's his 5th personal foul. On the line, Chiefy Umaja will be shooting 2.
So Chief Yobaja, who has not scored tonight but does have 6 rebounds, will shoot a couple free throws here, and he can make it a 3-possession game. Evan Davison is into the game in O'Reilly's place as Obaja misses the free throw. Riordan has now missed 4 free throws in this 4th quarter and 6 in the second half. They're 5 of 11 from the line in this half. 7 of 13 in the game. Obaja misses them both, and Pratt bobbles the rebound but corrals it. So the Irish another opportunity to cut into the 6-point lead, but attacking and missing was Parsons. Frankie Ferrari is back into the game. He's playing a little offense-defense. Ferrari on offense and Jide Obaja on defense. 2:11 to go. We've only seen 5 combined field goals in this 4th quarter. Played nearly 6 minutes. Just hit the 2-minute mark. So the Irish looking for another stop. Here's Ferrari, pass deflected out of bounds, 11 on the shot clock. Down low, this is Arenas. Arenas takes it up and draws the foul. So Bobby Arenas is going to be shooting 2. He is 0 for 2 from the line. Pratt just picked up his 3rd. And Arenas has just made this a 3-possession game with 1:47 left. And a turnover as James was looking to pass to Otis, threw it out of bounds. The Irish never got that big performance in the second half from their backcourt. Give Riordan credit defensively. .139 left. The Irish not fouling. Here's Mabry, bounce pass, Chief Yobaja with the stuff. And that gets the Riordan student section in a frenzy as DeAndre Otis makes the jumper at the other end. But they're still cheering the Chief Yobaja dunk, his first points of the night. It's an 8-point Riordan lead. 1:21 to go. See, each team has a couple of timeouts remaining. Both teams pretty much in the double bonus. The next foul on Riordan will be their 10th. Irish needing some stops, and they've been able to get some stops in the second half. The problem has been converting on the offensive end. So full court pressure here. Sacred Heart looks like they want a foul, but the Crusaders playing keep away, and they do knock it away from Gilren. It's a 3-on-1 break. A wild shot by James. It misses, but Otis is there for the putback. So the one thing Riordan cannot do is turn the ball over, and they just did so there, and it leads to 2 points with 1:07 to go. Another timeout by Daryl Barber on the Sacred Heart bench, a full timeout. And it's back down to a 6-point game after 4 unanswered points and Sadubaja dunk. Just saw the Irish coaches conferring, deciding what to do here at the end of this timeout in the final 1:07 of this game. Talk things over before this next Crusader possession. Riordan has turned it over 9 times in this second half, 16 times in the game, compared to 11 turnovers for the Irish. Mazzoli inbounds. Dangerous pass, but he grabs it back, throws it ahead to Gilren. Gilren throws it away again. Here's Otis in traffic, blocked out of bounds. Bodies hit the deck, both Otis and Gilren. No foul call with 53 seconds to go. Chief Yabaja is in for Gilren. Can the Irish get a bucket? Dangerous inbounds. Grabbed by Parsons. Parsons goes to the rim and draws the foul. So he'll get a couple of free throws. He has scored 10 of his 12 points in the first half. He's going to try to cut this down to a 4-point game with 45 seconds left. Mazzoli is just fouled out of the game with 5 points. So Parsons shoots 2. And he missed it. Remember, Pratt missed a couple big free throws earlier this fourth quarter for the Irish. They were a team that was 10 of 12 from the line through 3 quarters, but in this fourth quarter, they are 3 of 7. And again, they're cleaning up another wet spot. 45 seconds to go. Riordan having trouble closing this game out. They have led most of the way. The Irish had a brief 3-point lead in the first half. Parsons makes 1 of 2. 43 seconds left. Ahead to Mabry. Mabry to Chief Yabaja, had trouble grabbing it, but it is grabbed by Arenas. And Riordan calls a timeout to preserve the possession. Again, things getting sloppy, and Rich Buckner making sure his team did not turn it over again. Great atmosphere on the other side with the Riordan Band and the student section right next to them. The Riordan Band does a great job every night. It's pretty cool before the game when they set up courtside as their team goes through their warm-ups. (59-54). Crusaders led by 6 at the half and by 7 entering this fourth quarter. They've got this 5-point advantage with 36 seconds left. They have the basketball. 26 on the shot clock. Obviously, the Irish are going to have to foul at some point if they can't come up with a turnover early on. And here's a long baseball pass. It's caught by Arenas, who was nearly fouled. He does get rid of it to Hernandez, who was grabbed by Pratt. Pratt just picked up his fourth. 30 seconds to go. And 2 free throws coming up for Christian Hernandez, who was 2 of 3 from the line.
Taking out foul number 15, Herbert Pratt. That's his fourth. Christian Hernandez, 2 shots.
And the first free throw good for Hernandez. He makes this next one. He can push it to a 3-possession game with 30 seconds left. Riordan trying to finish the league schedule strong. This would be 5 wins in 7 games so they can hold on. And this is the second free throw, the rebound to Hart. And then a throwaway. Hart grabs it back on the pass from James that he wasn't ready for, and Daryl Barber calls the timeout for the Irish. The final timeout of the game for Sacred Heart Cathedral. And it was a good call at that for Barber because Khalil James is on the deck, or Hart was on the ground there, and it looked like he was about ready to stand up with the basketball, which would have been a travel. Pat O'Rourke with you, and the producer is Vernon Marcaida. We're doing this broadcast over both BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. Six-point Riordan lead. Sacred Heart has the basketball, but only 22 seconds to go. Here's a 3 by Otis. Rebound Ferrari. He's got Hernandez out in front. Hernandez running off some clock. 10 seconds, and there's the foul. Frankie Ferrari's got 13 points tonight to lead a balanced Riordan attack. Just grabbed his first rebound, a big rebound off that miss by Otis, which could have cut the lead in half. So here's Hernandez going back to the free throw line where he just made 1 of 2. And now it's a 3-possession game, and that should pretty much do it with 10 seconds to go. It'll take a miracle for the Irish, and it looks like Riordan's going to come away with a split of this season series. And Chief Fiabaja does a good job to grab the rebound on this miss. 5 seconds to go. Here's Ferrari. Ferrari to Chief Fiabaja with 1 second. And there's the buzzer. So Riordan splits their season series with Sacred Heart Cathedral. The Crusaders win for the 5th time in 7 games. They protect their home floor, and they beat the Irish by the final of 61-54. We'll take a brief break on the audio side, bring it back for a recap in a moment. You're watching high school basketball action from the West Catholic League on BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. The finals totals in this one, it was a game that was tied at 19 after the first quarter. Riordan, though, took a 33-27 lead in the half. They led by 7 after 3 quarters, 47-40, and they win 61-54 as each team scores 14 points in the fourth quarter. Balanced attack for Riordan. Frankie Ferrari finishes with 13 points, 10 points and 8 rebounds for Christian Hernandez. Shaquille Cooper scored 9 points, all of them in the first half on 3 3-pointers. Bobby Arenas finishes with 8. 6 for Jade Ubaja. 5 for Zach Mazzoli. 4 for Graham Gillerin. Drew Mabry scores 3, and Chief Ubaja finishes with 2 points and 7 boards. Sacred Heart Cathedral had 3 players in double figures. Herman Pratt and David Parsons each had 13. DeAndre Otis finishes with 10. Riordan does the job defensively on Khalil James, who scores just 8. 2 points each for Evan Davison, Nagassi Hart, and Elliot Santiago. And 4 points for Liam O'Reilly. Riordan committed more turnovers, 17 compared to 11 for the Irish, but the Crusaders did a job on the glass. 32-22 rebounding edge for Riordan tonight. They were 11 of 20 from the free throw line. Sacred Heart Cathedral was 14 of 20. Thanks for watching another presentation of West Catholic League basketball on BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. The final score tonight, Riordan improves to 15-8. They're now 6-7 in league play. The Irish dropped to 15-8 and 8-5 in league play. Vernon Marcaida, producer. I'm Pat O'Rourke, sign off from Crusader Forum on BayPreps.com and RiordanAthletics.org. Have a good night.